Good evening. Topping the news at this hour, a possible ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, the U.S. blasted with a polar vortex, and a harmful virus in Illinois. I'm S.McGhee for WSAM, coming to you live with your latest news, sports, and weather. This evening's broadcast is brought to you by Erickson Chevrolet, where you're number one. Kicking things off with global news, Israel and Hamas once again appear to be inching towards a ceasefire that could wind down the 15-month war in Gaza and bring home dozens of Israelis held hostage there. Both Israel and Hamas are under pressure from outgoing U.S. President Joe Biden and President-elect Donald Trump to reach a deal before January 20th. Shifting over to Canada, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced his resignation Monday after nearly a decade in power. He plans to stay on as Prime Minister until a new leader of the Liberal Party is chosen. He said Parliament, which had been due to resume January 27th, would be suspended until March 24th. The timing will allow for a Liberal Party leadership race. In national news, a huge swath of the U.S. was blasted with ice, snow, and wind on Monday as the polar vortex that dipped south over the weekend kept much of the countries east of the Rockies in its harsh grip, making many roads treacherous, forcing school closures, and causing widespread power outages and flight cancellations. Moving north to New York, a man accused of gunning down United Healthcare CEO outside a New York hotel is likely to appear in Manhattan federal court again before mid-February, after prosecutors and lawyers on Monday requested more time to prepare the case for trial. Prosecutors said that they consulted with the defense and agreed that extending the deadline was necessary. Closer to home in our local news, the Illinois Department of Public Health is asking residents to stay vigilant against the rise of norovirus. The virus, a common cause of gastrointestinal disease, has symptoms like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea that develop in between 12 and 48 hours after exposure. It usually lasts 1 to 3 days. Health officials recommend people should wash their hands frequently with soap and water for 20 seconds, as well as cleaning and disinfecting commonly used surfaces. And finally, a 28-year-old man from Danville has been arrested in connection to the death of a man in Champaign. On December 21st, 35-year-old Joseph Jones was found unresponsible at the intersection of Colett and Williams in Danville at 11 p.m. At the time, police said Jones had more than one gunshot wound and was pronounced dead at the scene. The 28-year-old was charged with a warrant arrest of first-degree murder and is still being investigated as a suspect in the shooting. The Danville Police Department reminded everyone is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Who came out on top on the NBA floors? Find out after this message from our sponsor. Erickson Chevrolet, where you're number one. Don't miss the red tag sale happening now at Erickson Chevrolet. Every vehicle in stock is tagged with special savings that will save you thousands, including a great selection of in-demand pre-owned cars and trucks, like the Chevy Silverado or the Chevy Equinox. Take advantage of the red tag sale by heading down to Erickson Chevrolet. In Milan, our website, ericksons.com, Erickson Chevrolet, where you're number one. And we're back on WSAM with the latest in sports and weather. The Detroit Pistons nearly dominated the Portland Trail Blazers, winning 118 to 115. The Indiana Pacers slammed the Brooklyn Nets, winning 113 to 95. And the Minnesota Timberwolves just got by the LA Clippers, winning 108 to 106. Moving on to weather. Today, expected to be mostly sunny with a high of around 20 and a low around 4. Tomorrow, make sure you still have those sunglasses because it will be sunny with a high around 19 and a low around 6. And on Friday, expect a little bit of snow and expect it to be mostly cloudy with a chance of meatballs with a high around 23. That's all the time we have for this segment. Today's broadcast has been brought to you by Erickson Chevrolet, where you're number one. This is S.McGhee on WSAM, bringing you the latest news, sports, and weather. Have a wonderful week.